Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Running, running, no. Keep running.
I can say one thing, guys. This chapter kind of feels a little bit short, but it seems like it was in one section into the next. So it's like two different sections, but we have to get into it because we get a lot of information of what actually happened on Pangean Castle and also what happened going on Mary Joyce. I'm sorry, I kind of lost my voice, but let's get into the chapter. I can say one thing, though. It's always nice to see Doflamingo make an appearance. Doesn't matter if it's a cover page or inside the manga, because what he said when he wasn't impaled down was so epic and it's really coming into fruition. But to continue with the chapter, we see that Sabo actually had 3 objectives in mind when he got to the Reverie. And those 3 objectives actually what made things even more worse for them. But don't worry about that. I'm going to touch on that mostly almost at the end of this video. But those are 3 objectives was to actually declare war against Mary Joyce, like making a stand, like, yes, we're gonna go to war right now. We're ready to go to war with you guys. And the second objective was to actually free most other slaves and also free Kuma. But the last one is to destroy their food supply. Now, that's one thing for real deal, like warfare, right? But since Sabo did all that, 8 different countries sided with the Revolutionary Army and took up arms. But out of those 8 kingdoms, one of them was Lucia, and we see what happened to Lucia. So it's really like 7 kingdoms, you know, it's giving their tributes to the Mary Joyce, the land of gods anymore. So I can say it definitely was a win. But like I said in the last chapter, we seen that Sabo had even more members to join the revolutionary armies with the Boyar from the Lucia kingdom. So that's even more arms. Like I said before, this was a most improved mission for Sabo, really to let people know that we are here. The revolutionaries are here and we're not going anywhere, right? And we want all the smoke from the government, right? So I can say this was a win for the revolutionaries, but this was a small glimpse of maybe what the revolutionaries have like up their sleeve. The most negative thing I can take from that is what Dragon said, that once the Holy Knights actually get deployed, that's when the real fighting start. Now we're seeing how Oda stresses out with the Shichibukai, and it made the series even longer. But I can't not see this One Piece series without the Shichibukai, because the Shichibukai made the series so amazing. But even Oda even said like the Shichibukai stressed the series out. So I want to know how he's gonna do with this Holy Knights, and that's the official Viz translation of the Holy Knights. That's exactly what he's gonna call them from now on out. But I actually want to see what they're actually about, because now we get a new whole superpower, right, of people. So does that mean they are stronger than the admirals? Because the admirals work right up under the people of Mary Joyce, right? The celestial dragons. So who are these holy knights actually we got introduced to in this chapter? Like I said, it could be a positive or a negative thing that would drag something on that Oda didn't want. So most likely they are powerful and they may be on the same level as admirals, but I feel that these holy knights are only going to target one person or one personnel or one group, and that's the revolutionaries. So I don't know how long Oda is going to drag on these holy knights and how strong they are, but it's a great opponent for the revolutionaries, because like I said before, I cannot see the revolutionaries going back right to Mary Joyce anytime soon. So this might stall out another battle for revolutionaries can keep themselves preoccupied. Me as a One Piece fan, I continue reading to the part where Dragon was actually giving Cobra his props, right? And the way actually Dragon was saying that he's actually a just king, he's a very good king, and you have corrupt kings in this world, but Cobra's not one. And to hear actually Sabo replies like, I'm sorry it happened to him, but anything to stir up the pot of just revolution, right? And I'm thinking like, Sabo, bro, you're still young to understand what revolution actually means, right? Not to target what's like injustice, right? It's to target what should be right. And to say that, okay, it's bad what happened to Cobra, but at the same time, bro, what we're doing is bigger than that. And sometimes you need people like Cobra, like these 7 nations that turn against the celestial dragons, right? You need people like that. Well, and I think that what Sabo replied to Dragon wasn't a good character for Sabo, if you understand what I mean, because Revolution, and like I'm trying to compare things to Star Wars and how the revolutions are in Star Wars. There are like real things going on in Star Wars, right? We see things like this in Andor. If you catch up on Disney Plus, bro, have you seen Andor? That's real deal sparks of rebellion, bro. And like, even if like Rogue One the movie, bro, like things are happening, sacrifices have to be taken. But things like that, to say stuff like that, that means like his death wasn't like positive for both ways. And I feel like it was only positive for Sabo in one way of his death. I feel like Sabo is too naive to understand what comes with somebody like that. Like Cobra could have been a great ally. And I feel like he definitely got there too late. And I feel like the 5 elders actually killed Cobra because what Cobra was going to say about the Void Century, about the old kingdoms. And yes, I do feel like the revolutionaries lost a great asset in Cobra. And I feel like Sabo is too naive to acknowledge that fact, right? See, what he think is those 7 nations are good on their side. But in my opinion, I feel like Alabasta was one of the best nations they could have had. And I feel like Vivi actually could lead that charge with like taking Cobra's seat, her father's seat. But I feel like Cobra would have led it way better than Vivi. But we have to move on with Sabo in that situation because I can keep going on and on about how I feel about Sabo and how he replied to actually Dragon. And Dragon saying that he literally, like how Sabo replied to that, is like crazy to me. So to continue with the chapter, we get a flashback of Sabo's memories, what happened like a little over a month ago on Reverie. Now we seen that these people, Celestial Dragons, are nasty people. So first thing first, Sabo targeted the food supply, right? And these people are nasty, basically saying all crazy stuff like what will happen if they don't get on their job. And these Celestial Dragons are just pigs, bro. Before chapter 3 was commenced, we see that Kurisu, Lingber, they're actually trying to free the slaves. We see that some of these revolutionary captains are captains for a reason. Some of them taking advantage of the handicap that the Marines have, taking full-fledged advantage of where they're at right now on Mary Joyce. And they know the admirals cannot go all out because of Celestial Dragons around. And we see some of the comments of Celestial Dragons like, you dummy, you can't do that. You know what happens if you do that, what have you. And then you see Green Bull's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, get out of the way. Why are you around? Green Bull actually couldn't go too much crazy when he was battling Marley. So that was, listen, the captains of the Revolutionary Army took full advantage of the whereabouts. And I feel like Dragon built this objective up and he knew what was going on. And I feel like Dragon is a great strategist, right? But I know it's a team effort and somebody like Sabo would put their little 2 cents in on the objective at hand, right? But to see somebody take full advantage of that jump, bro, they know that they can't go all out with the Celestial Dragon. That's like a gold mine. Somebody can attack them. And they know they cannot get defeated because of the Admirals cannot go all out. But we see Kurisu battling these people. We see Lingber freeing the slaves. We see Marley taking well advantage on Green Bull, right? We see Fujitora battling out Kurisu. And we see Suit Fruit. And I'm thinking like, bro, they taking full advantage of this moment. And they're smart for it. But to get back on Kurisu's fruit, bro, nobody kind of speculated that he's gonna be pure, like impure carbon. Like, bro, he's like a gas, right? You know, the combustion of hydrocarbon. Like, I never would have thought that in a million years. I thought he was like a crow man or something like that, or a shadow man, bro. He's an impure carbon. Like the soot of, like, you know, trucks. Like, he's that, which makes him a Logia fruit, right? So I had to understand that this has to be a Logia. And I did my research, and yeah, he's actually a Logia Devil Fruit user. And to understand him and understand what he had going on in this chapter, and it's like those bullets are going through him. And I'm thinking like, is it a special paramecia like Katakuri? And I'm thinking like, bro, and it says the soot viz. I'm like, bro, I know what soot is, bro. It comes out of cars and stuff like that. Big diesel trucks, bro. Like, we've seen them, like, you know, on the road, right? Like them big 16-wheelers. So he's a Logia. And we know how Logia is, that they're overconfident and they quick to die in battle. So I would think that he's one of, if not the strongest revolutionary captain. And we also see his crows actually have dialogue and talking to people. So he's definitely a part of these crows he shoot out, these suit crows that he shoot out to people. So amazing character development for Kurosu this chapter. We definitely did suit through official Viz translation, right? And like I said before, these revolutionary captains are holding their own in this tight spot and taking full advantage of these handicaps. Now, I don't know if these admirals will wipe the floor with them that easy, right? We know how old a power scaling is a mismatch and it's bad. But like I said, what they're doing right now is good. So I cannot underestimate the revolutionary captains because they're doing what they need to do. Their job is being done, and it was a successful job with no fatalities on the captains of the Revolutionary Army. But we have to continue with the chapter. So as the battle still goes on, we see that Sabo made it to Pangean Council where Kuma is, and we see that Bonnie is also running to save her daddy. Oh, daddy. But we see that Sabo's made it there, and Sabo's next step is actually to see what's going on with Cobra and the audience that the 5 elders want with Cobra. So I can't say we're going to actually see what's going on with Cobra, what happened to Cobra next chapter, because it's right then and there. And we see that Vivi want to get protection from Gar because Lucci didn't protect Shira or Hoshi. And I feel like this is the part where it all started with Lucci questioning actually the government and the Marines alike. And because his face is like, bro, she's right. Like, what's going on under the scenes? Like, we seen on Egghead how he was really questioning things, right? And it seems like him and his group on Egghead are going to get assassinated and are going to join whatever happened on Egghead. Like, whoever dies is going to die there. They're going to leave people stranded. And that's why Lucci and like thinking differently about who he works for. And Kaku and others don't want to be questioning and stuff, but Lucci is actually opening his eyes to new things. And we see in the chapter how his face was when Vivi was talking to him like, what is going on? But I can't say in this last panel with Cobra actually telling Bell and the gang to, step back, go watch over Vivi. I'm good. I'm just gonna go in here. And my mind, I'm thinking like, bro, this is the last time somebody gonna see Cobra alive. And for him not even to think that he would end up being dead by, saying what he said, it's kind of critical in this chapter. So I really want to say one thing, and I'm going to give you guys the piece out of here because this chapter was pretty short. We seen what the world government and the 5 elders are working with. I have not seen anything significant from revolutionaries. Like listen, we haven't seen a lot from the revolutionaries. We seen more Sabo than Dragon, even though we don't see as much revolutionaries. And we seen Dragon first, right? Technically, we seen Sabo first, but we really seen Dragon first in this series. But with storyline, but I haven't seen anything significant of what revolutionaries can compete or what 5 elders or Emu did on the Lucia Kingdom. So I feel like this thing is one-sided until we actually see what's going on with revolutionaries, the manpower of the revolutionaries, right? Because I can say if the 5 elders find out where they're at, it's gone. It's over with. Can the revolutionaries counter something like that? And that's when I can give you an argument, a debate, actually who will actually come out with a win or come out with a spark of rebellion that can overthrow the world government. Right now, it's not looking too good. We have strong characters like Sabo and Dragon, even the captains of the Revolutionary Army. They're on the top notch too. But I can say it's not something significant. Like Dragon cannot stop what happened on Lucia Kingdom by his power or his devil fruit. I don't think Roger or Whitebeard can stop that, bro. So I have to see something significant like a force field that can withstand that. And like I said, the spark of rebellion can be so small to the point that one person can lead the charge. And some people are like, Bello Betty. All you need is her, really, to get some people get the drive going. And I feel like she's the most significant person in the Revolutionary Army because it's all start with the spark of rebellion. And she's the main person, right? I would not feel no type of way if she was chief of staff right in front of Sabo because she's that significant for the Revolutionary Army. But I can say that Dragon is so strong. I always put Dragon in my top 10 just because who he is, the most wanted man. Like, he's top tier. So until then, I know that Sabo can go toe to with an Admiral on a fighting standpoint, but power overall, right now, the Revs does not stand a chance against the world government, the Celestial Dragons, not even 5 Elders, Emu. They don't stand a chance, bro. And I'm just saying this because I don't know the depth of this power will happen on Lushakina. I don't know how often they can use it. I don't know the full power, full depth of how it can be operated. I'm just saying right now, as of chapter 1083, the Revolutionary Armies, as a power overall, does not stand a chance against the world government. So with that being said, it was a great chapter. It was short because of this a few color pages, a few spreads. I'm sorry, but it was a great chapter, phenomenal chapter. I give it 8 out of 10. Every time I see the Revolutionary Army, like we're getting more details on the Revolutionary Army, I'm here for that, bro. And I like what Oda is doing, giving us a full panel, a full whole chapter of what's going on with revolutionaries. We need more revolutionary Oda, right? This is like the Game of Thrones. We gotta see every fraction of what's going on in the One Piece verse, But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to get more of me and more One Piece content. I'm sorry I gave it to you so late. I was so busy, super busy over the weekend. And but thanks for coming back to the channel. I see you in the next one. Peace out.